What's up, guys? Iceman here. So this video, I'm going to go on about how you can attain infinity for Diablo 2 Resurrected. Now, infinity is one of the most desirable items in Diablo 2. Many characters can take advantage of it. Generally, you want to put it on your Act 2 mercenary, as they can wield polearms, and infinity has to be made in a 4-socketed polearm. So it's primarily good for lightning sorceresses, lightning trap sins, or even fire trap sins, or any other sorceress for that matter. Some elemental druids, and more. It's a fucking good item. Probably, potentially the most desirable rune word in the game. And it's quite expensive, as it requires 2 burr runes. And the base is expensive as fuck as well. Because not only do you want a 4-socketed polearm, but you want a 4-socketed ethereal polearm. Namely, one of the better ones. And I'm going to show you what are most desirable for infinity. Now, here it is up on the screen. As you can see, it has the Conviction Aura, which is the biggest deal about this item. It can break a lot of lightning immunes specifically, but there are also some cold and fire immunes in the game that it can break as well. But primarily it breaks light immunes. It doesn't break all light immunes, as there are some light immune monsters that Infinity doesn't break their immunity. However, they are not very common, but they are there. In which case you might want to have another method to destroy them, or you could just skip them, or you could let your mercenary poke the shit out of them. Because Infinity actually does a lot of damage as well, a lot of physical damage. You can see here, this one does a max of 637, and it's made in an ethereal cryptic axe. But check this shit out. I'm going to show you a few bases that I really like to use for Infinity. So here's the Ariat Summit website, and it's very helpful for all sorts of information regarding Diablo 2. So right here, I'm on the Elite Polearm section. And it even shows you the max potential sockets for these polearms. So you can skip the Ogre Axe. Colossus Volge is probably the most common item that Infinity is made in for one reason. It's not because it's the fastest. It's not because it's the highest damage. It's because it's, although it is the highest damage, but probably not overall, not the highest damage per second, because it is pretty slow. And that's another very important thing to factor in, is the attack speed. So what you can do is you can find an attack speed calculator on Google, and you can select the Act 2 mercenary and go over which of these poles would probably attack the fastest depending on the other IAS gear that the mercenary wears. But basically, the Colossus Volge is probably the most common one that Infinity is made in, simply because it's the easiest to attain. This is primarily because when you Larzuk quest it, it will always get 4 sockets, because 4 sockets are its max roll, and the Larzuk quest gives the max amount of sockets when used on an item. And as you can see here, the Thresher, Cryptic Axe, Great Poleaxe, and Giant Thresher all have potentially 5 or 6 sockets max. So you're not going to get 4 sockets if you use the Larzuk quest on these. In which case, you're reliant on the Horadric Cube recipe, because that rolls a random amount of sockets on the item, so you could potentially get 4 sockets. Now, these ones are all very desirable. These 4, I would say. To a lesser extent, the Cryptic Axe. So, I would try to make it in either a Thresher, a Great Poleaxe, or a Giant Thresher. I think that the Great Poleaxe looks toad as fuck. It looks badass. And it's unique, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of unusual, and it is quite rare to find. So I always liked making it in a Great Poleaxe for style points. But of course, that might not be your cup of tea. You might want to make it in the most optimal item, which often is the standard Thresher, or even the Giant Thresher. Now it shows their minimum or their average damage here, 76.5 versus 77 versus 86.5. But it's kind of up to you, dog. But I know probably the most valuable ones are made in the Thresher or the giant thresher. Value in terms of their resale value or their trade value, because they're fast as fuck and they do decent damage. So that's basically why, because you want your mercenary to attack fast, especially if he has crushing blow. It's a way to chop down boss's overall life, and it's a way for your merc to survive, because the faster he hits, the more often he's going to leech, and you want to make sure you have life leech on him. An expensive route would be to have Chains of Honor body armor on him for the life leech that offers. Or cheaper option would be Vampire Gaze Helm, or even the Undead Crown. And there are, of course, other options as well. The Crown of Thieves, better than the Undead Crown, but nonetheless, you want some life leech on your fucking mercenary. So let me show you where you can find these bases and where I like to find them while playing. So as some of you dogs might have expected, I like to farm my item bases in the pit. So you need the Outer Cloister waypoint in Act 1 in Hell. And if you go down this way and find the pit, it's a level 85 area. So you can actually find the Burr runes and the other runes and the item base even down in the pit. So that's just where I like to go to try to find item bases. Another option would be the Chaos Sanctuary, or the Secret Cow level. Or, and for the runes, you could farm the Council in Act 3 to potentially drop the Burr runes, and Ist rune, and Mal rune. So basically you have to look around, find the pit, just kill a bunch of shit. Really, the most optimal way to get things, I remember back in the day when I would play Diablo 2, I found that there was a point in time where I realized this, that I just wasted a lot of time hanging out in town, fucking around with the chat, going on the lobbies and stuff, and trying to trade, right? Join trade games and shit like that. Waste so much time to trade games. And I've come to find that a more effective option, I mean, there are some that are really good at trading, and sometimes you come across great deals. So there's something to be had in that. Excuse me. But you don't want to find yourself wasting too much time doing that. Because I found that if you just go around and kill shit, that's really what the game's all about. So I just started farming the pit like cray-cray, and the Chaos Sanctuary like cray-cray. I just walk to Bal. You know, you don't gotta rush that shit. You don't have to be in a public Bal game. I mean, it's unlikely you're gonna get the drop if you're in public games. But just walking Bal, because the World Stone keeps, there are level 83 plus areas. And of course the Throne, and I think World Stone level 3, I think are level 85 areas. Then you get to fight Bal, and if you can kill him, he can drop, you know, all the fucking items in the game. So that are unique, they're a unique set and rare, so and magic. So basically, you want to run those areas to get the runes and shit. And you want to run anywhere, man. I remember I would just run wherever the fuck I felt like. And of course, some areas can't drop the higher level items, so you have to factor that in as well. But I'd actually just run around the Dark Wood and kill shit. Just anywhere that my character could kill shit fast in Hell. You know, just start running those regions. And soon enough, you're going to find a rune or two. I found an Ohm rune just fucking around in the Dark Wood. There are even places in Act 2 where you can run. I think doing the tomb runs and shit. You never know what you're going to find down in there. Basically, I run the pit for a good infinity base. You can also trade for one. Generally, an Ist Gull rune will get you a nice four-socketed ethereal polearm. If you want a superior one with enhanced damage, you're definitely going to be trading up. But let me show you a good spot to find the runes. Now, this is all going to be dependent on what your character is capable of. Now, I intend to make a trap sin, a lightning trap sin. So she's really going to want to have an infinity. And so I'm going to be busting my ass trying to get one. Often it's the case where you basically sacrifice all your fucking finds to get the infinity. You find really good items, this and that. You know, you're going to want to trade that shit away. Now, I'm often quite reserved with my trading. If I find a Shaka or something, I don't want to trade that, you know, to just up my mid-rune base to potentially trade for a Burr rune or an infinity eventually. I usually keep that shit. But it is often the case, and these kind of players tend to thrive, I think, where they will make vast sacrifices. They'll find great items, and they'll just keep trading up and up. And they'll just have absolute shitty gear on, but then their mercenary will finally have the Infinity on. And then you're really going to kick ass once you get the Infinity, obviously. Because then you can run areas that you normally couldn't run with your Lightning character, for example, which can potentially be the most strongest characters in the game, the most powerful. So, yeah, Infinity is it's a great item to strive toward, alright? And primarily you're going to want to use it on a Lightning Javazon, a Lightning Sorceress. Oh, hell yeah. Set Amulet. Very important to pick up the Set Amulets in Nightmare in Hell mode, because it could be the Tal Rasha's Amulet, which trades for a lot. And I found probably 20 Set Amulets so far this ladder on PD2, and I haven't yet found Tal Rasha's Amulet. But yeah, and run the Chaos Sanctuary. That's where I like to run for the runes. It's not too difficult comparatively, so it's a good area to run. That's 85, and you don't need a ton of defense or resistances compared to some other areas in the game. And like I said, it's 85. It has good density, so you can even run the whole River of Flame if you want to go all out, because I believe the entire River of Flame is 85 plus area, so any item in the game can fall here. Basically, that's going to be my strategy to get Infinity, and I intend to make traps in. So if I can get an Infinity, it's going to be fun as fuck, and she's going to be able to destroy shit. But we'll see. It's the drop rates on botnet are very. It can take a long time. You know, there are many who spend hundreds of hours on ladder resets, and they never even find a single burr rune or anything of value of the burr rune. So it's the luck of the draw, man, and it's consistency. Just get a character who can kill shit fast as fuck and run the 85 areas. So if you guys will like the damn video, let me know what your strategy is to attain the Infinity, and is the character you're going to make upon ladder reset, would they benefit from Infinity? Let me know in the comments below. Like the damn video. Thank you to my patrons. May the Creator bless you and keep you, and may you have many wives. Peace be with you.